Good morning. Today we're going to take the lesson One Man's Gain is Another Man's Loss, which was written by Michael de Montague, and it was then translated by A.J. Trashman. Before we start, take a small background about the writer himself. As you can see, the writer, who is Michael de Montague, this is his picture at first, okay. Michael de Montague was born in 1533 and died in 1592, and he was an important philosopher of the French Renaissance who wrote numerous essays. Montague strongly believes in free inquiry, the idea that people benefit from asking questions and considering different arguments, reflects the rigorous education that his father provided for him. Montague's essay explore many aspects of human experiences. In this selection, he believes into an idea that earlier philosophers had often pondered: when one person gains something, does someone else always lose out? Let's check the topic today. In very short summary, the topic is very easy. It's just reflects, as they say, it's just showing how Montague was trying to explain the point that when someone gains something, others loses. So here that it says, this is a mercantilist notion that Montague latches onto in order to absolve and reassure anyone who feels any twinges of guilt or regret over benefiting at the expenses of others. He says that this notion, so far from being condemnable, is actually in keeping with nature and therefore unavoidable. So we cannot really avoid the point that we are gaining from someone losing. So when you gain something and when you get a profit, others loses. And this is the nature itself. You cannot avoid something like this. How can we condemn one person for benefiting at the expenses of other when no profit whatever can possibly be made but at the expenses of another? If we condemn one person for such a gain, we should condemn all gain of what kind soever. Let me very quickly also tell you a small point about Montague's point of view when he said actually that the dogma was already advanced by some ancient author among modern writers. Okay, Montague was the first to restate it. So he just restated this point. We may fairly call it the Montague dogma. It was the quintessence of the doctrinaries of martialism, old and new. There was a fixed quantity of whatever it is, and if you get more, I get less. One man's profit is another's loss. And this is in general the short summary of one man's gain is another's man's loss.